y'all ready?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, I'm Laurie Christensen. I'm the Harris County Fire Marshal. Here with me is Matthew Ford from the Texas A&M Forest Service. The fire that we're here at today is at 16603 Bobcat Trail. Right now we're calling it the Harris 4614 fire. The dispatch call came in at 12:50 this afternoon. First unit arrived at 1300, also known as 1 o'clock. I do want to say this, is the information that I'm going to be giving you is what we know now. This is still a very active scene. The fire right now is 45% contained. We've got 20 to 30 acres. So please know what we're giving you is what we have. We will try to answer some questions, but this may be something that we get back to later. It is under investigation because it's still active. Rose Hill Fire Department is the primary fire department that's on scene. We're in Rose Hill, just north of Cypress. I do want to tell you we've had no humans and no livestock evacuated. We do know that we have one deceased male victim. We do not know the cause. And again, this is because it's an active scene and we can't get into the area quite yet. I said we had the 20 to 30 acres, 45% contained. We've got 8 fire departments on scene: Rose Hill, Cypress Creek, Cypress, Magnolia, Tomball, Klein, the Harris County Fire Marshal's Office. We have the A&M Texas Forest Services here. They have 4 dozers, and Matthew can talk a little bit more about what additional units they have. From Harris County, we have 2 from Precinct 4 that are on scene. We have 4 on standby from Precinct 3. I know we were asked what precinct we're in. The fire is in Precinct 3. We're here at Precinct 4. Just know that this side of the county, we know that we have had quite a few fires. I believe, and I apologize, I had that in my notes, but I believe we've had 457 fires in July. This is outdoor fires. And the KBDI, y'all have heard me talk a lot about the fire index, is 682 today. So we know we've been under a burn ban now for over 30 days, and the fire weather is very hazardous. I will say that currently we're working with the Forest Service. We know we have 6 homes and about 13 additional structures that could be impacted, but there is no concern right now that we need to evacuate those. We do have Harris County drones from Cypress and from the Harris County Fire Marshals on site. And basically what those drones do, and we're finding this during our recent fires, they're able to do additional surveillance and mapping, which is allowing us to gauge the fire patterns, get dozers out there, and put the fire breaks in. That's what I've got thus far. Matthew, would you like to do anything additional?
The only thing additional is, like the fire chief said, acreage is currently 20-30 acres estimated. We are at 45% contained. Forward progression has been stopped. However, there is still active fire on the flanks, and all crews are currently engaged in working those flanks as we speak.
And if you have a few questions, we will try to answer what we can.
What's kind of the most concerning thing for you right now?
I would say for us in the fire service, knowing now that we have the Texas Forest Service on here, we know we have the equipment we need, but it's the winds. One of the things, and y'all heard me talk about grass fires and crown fires where they jump from tree to tree. This is where the Forest Service, I mean, they know this so much better than anybody else, but it can grow up to 14 miles an hour and it moves very quickly. So for us, the biggest concern is getting ahead of it. And as he talked about, the flanking and getting the dozers out there to do the fire breaks. But I will tell you, we've only got one road closure right now, which is Bobcat Trail. Because the equipment's gotten down here so quickly, because of the amount of support we've had from the other fire departments, they've done a good job putting a handle on getting it under containment.
Was the deceased found in a mobile home? That was initial reports to talk about that?
I don't want to get too far into the investigation, but I can tell you that it was not in a structure.
Was he near the fire?
Yes.
Do you believe it was consumed by smoke?
We will not know until we get closer to the into the scene.
Do you know what he was doing there?
Again, that's part of the investigation. My investigators are out there, but understand because we still have active hot spots, that we're going out and working in that we just cannot get close enough now.
Did it start on a property? It's kind of hard to decipher from the trees or the other side. Did it start on a property or maybe it was property? Do we know?
We don't know if it was actually on his property, but it did start in an area. And again, this is, we've talked about fires, especially in this burn, the high burn areas that we have right now with the type of KBDI. It can be started from anything. We've had a lot of fires started from mowing your yard, from train tracks, various things. So it was on a property, but we have no idea what started it.
Do we have an age for him? I know we said elderly, but there wasn't much of an age for him.
We can't go into that yet.
Do you believe he lives around here, close to the property?
We do believe that, yes. So, but do you have any additional questions about the fire
Can you
itself?
talk to us about some of the methods that are being used through our helicopter? We were able to see some of the firefighters. It looked like they were using brooms. Can you explain what they were doing there? Some of the methods you guys may be using here?
Yes, sir. So a lot of the methods that we use, we are just about always in unified command with local officials such as Harris County, as well as the local VFDs. When we come on scene, we are supporting heavy equipment in terms of dozers. Usually in a two-man crew, we'll have a dozer operator and what we call a swamper or a ground man that comes behind the dozer to monitor anything that may be hazardous to that dozer, as well as any hot spots that may be near the line. Now, what y'all may have seen at the helicopter are hand tools being used, as well as various pieces of apparatuses and engines that are trying to reinforce those dozer lines at this time.
Can you talk to us about that broom, what that is, what they're doing there?
So we use and employ a variety of different hand tools. The broom that you mentioned could be anything from a plasky, a combination tool, to just pretty much what we call a sweeper tool. And all it is how we put it out the fire in terms of smothering out, getting rid of that oxygen, or we're using hand tools to submerge that fire in soil and take out the oxygen.
Yeah, we've got about 80 firefighters on scene right now. And grass fires, they have to continually move. It is definitely a hand-driven type fighting a fire. We do have equipment that's out there that's able to put water on it, but they've got to constantly turn that over, that brush, to keep those hot spots down. You did hear the Forest Service talk about unified command. That's one of the things that we do have out there. When we talk about unified command, what that means is we have groups from law enforcement, fire service, EMS, Forest Service. We've got the precinct commissioners that we're working with them closely so that everybody knows what communication piece is going on. Obviously, in this type of fire, one of the things we do ask for is just keep your thoughts with the family, for the deceased victim, and then also for our firefighters that are out there. It's very hot out. We're doing a lot of rehab. We do not need any donations. Fire department and precincts are providing water, but we do ask that, knowing that it's going late into the day, that you keep them in your thoughts and prayers, because they're going to be out here for a while putting this out.
Question for you. For people that live nearby, what's your message for them? And I know you haven't had any evacuations at this point, but at what point may it reach that, if it reaches?
What I will tell you now is, again, because we have the command system in place with law enforcement that's here, if anybody needs to be evacuated, that notification will be made. I'm very confident with the containment that they've been able to do thus far. I mean, the fact that I can tell you within 30 minutes we went to 35% more contained than we were. So they're moving very quickly. The drones are helping us quite a bit to get ahead of it. So I feel confident that we will be able to get this under control, and what we're hoping is that we don't have to do any evacuations.
With this, how would you compare this with, you said there were 457 outdoor fires in July. Would this be the worst one you've seen this year, or no? Or how would you kind of...
I'm going to say this is because of the fatality thus far. I have not had that in Harris County thus far, but we have had some larger ones. But again, it's unfortunately, any fire for us is a devastation, because it does affect whether it's somebody's property or their family. So
I know you can't speak too much about the deceased, but can you tell us, did you guys get called out here because of him, or did he was just found once you guys got on?
We respond to the fire, and the Harris County Fire Marshal's Office is the investigative authority on any fires, and that's how we are notified. So we're going to go ahead and get back, because I know we've got to get back to Unified Command to find out where we're at now. But what we do promise is we will, if y'all want to stay out here, we are going to come back. We're trying to get as much information to you as possible. And if you'll follow us, I know y'all are putting information out, and then the fire marshal's office is tweeting out and putting out on Facebook our social media updates. So thank you for waiting on us, and we will be back later.
One last
What's
question
your
is,
last name? What's your last name, Matthew?
Ford, F-O-R-D.
one last question is there any impact for residents in regards to water, like the water being used to put out the fire? Any?
No, sir.
Got
No,
it.
sir. No, it should be, the residents themselves should see no impact to water.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can you speak to the resident comment?
Do you want to speak to you?
If you want, we can do that.
You good?